In February 2023, I was sitting in a tea house in the mountains of Taiwan, writing in my journal, when something finally clicked. I'd been chasing the wrong version of myself my entire life. And the worst part was, I didn't have time to keep pretending. And that's because a few months earlier, in December 2022, the same month I published my first book, my only client shut down their business, and I was suddenly out of work. I had enough savings for only 1 year, which meant I had exactly one chance to find out if this was real. So I didn't look for new clients and bet everything on becoming a writer. On paper, that was commitment. In reality, I kept doing what I'd always done. I looked for other exits, other productive paths, other shiny objects to follow. Programming, digital marketing, AI, photography. Every morning felt like a swarm of lights fighting for my attention. And every few weeks, I'd pick a new one and tell myself I was moving forward. Even with the main road closed, I still found detours, distractions, side projects. Everything was just elegant excuses. Until Taiwan. Until I wrote that line and realized I was spending my life warming up instead of actually stepping onto the field. And on top of that, my savings were disappearing faster than I'd planned. At that point, it stopped being about inspiration. It became a question of identity. Either I took this seriously, or I stopped pretending I wanted it. I've always needed to create. When I was 8, it was a house made of cardboard. When I was 11, it was my first book. When I was 15, it was a 3D printer.
Primera presentación de la impresora 3D.
But writing was different. Writing was the only kind of creation that felt like absolute freedom. I could invent a world where nothing existed before, walk inside it, and come back to real life slightly changed. And still, for years, I treated writing like a hobby, like it was secondary, like making stories couldn't possibly be enough. So in that tea house, I made a decision that sounds simple but felt brutal. One focus, no more scattering myself. And the answer was obvious, writing. Because it's the only place where all my selves fit. The part of me that builds from nothing, a story, characters, a world, and the part of me that wants to build something massive around it. A universe that can reach millions. Everything I'm obsessed with, technology, different cultures, psychology, the world, ends up inside a story. Writing doesn't force me to choose between my curiosities. It turns them into something alive. And since then, every morning, there is only one light in front of me. So intense, the others disappear. My name is Kian Noren, and I write stories that feel the spirit without sacrificing the fun. Stories you can binge with the addictive pleasure of a TV show, but that still leave an aftertaste. Questions that stick with you for days, without turning them into an academic paper. And I'm chasing something very specific. You may have heard the idea of 1,000 true fans. 1,000 people who don't just consume what you make. They wait for it, share it, defend it. They feel part of it. They're not numbers. They're allies, witnesses. The kind of people who can say, I was there when all of this started, and mean it. My goal is that exact idea, but with 3 extra zeros. 1 million. But not because I need fame, not because I'm trying to collect followers like trophies, but because I want to write for my entire life. And I want the goal big enough so that the journey never runs out of a story. So this channel is my way of documenting the road to building that universe and inviting you to be a part of it. If you want a front row seat in real time to a writer's life as a real story, with stakes, setbacks, and obsession included, subscribe. And one day, if you stick around for long enough, you'll be able to say, I was there when it all began.